welcome back. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you my everyday makeup routine, and when I say everyday, what I really mean is the days that I'm not filming or like not doing anything out of the normal. These are kind of the products that I reach for. So it'll just show you the things that I think are easy, that work all the time, and I just figured I'd show you that. So as far as foundation and stuff goes, I already did that just because it takes forever, and I'm the kind of girl who changes her foundation every single day. I'm a foundation concoction person. I mix 2 or 3. My primer changes based on what my skin needs that day. Same with my skincare. So I didn't include that for you today, but I figured we could go ahead and do the rest of the face together. So things that I really like when I'm running late, or just like I want something quick and easy. Like for example, I work from home, and so sometimes, like today for example, it's after work and I haven't gotten around to doing my full face and makeup, and I'm like, I meant to, I just never got to it. So what I really like to use are just palettes, because palettes are just everything in one place. You just pull it out and there you go, you have all your colors laid out in front of you. It saves time, it's easy, you don't have to think that hard. Now for some people a palette may be overwhelming because for them it's thinking too hard to think of what color combo they want to use. But if you use a palette and you use the same palette all the time, you probably have your like go-to look or your go-to colors that you reach for. You know, you always use this warm brown in the crease, you always use this as your brow bone color, you always use this dark shade to deepen the outer V or whatever. And so that's kind of how I feel. So figured I'd show you the things that I've been using lately to just get out the door or anything like that. So like I said, for foundation I always change it up. For priming my eyes I use my MAC Painterly Paint Pot. I love priming my eyes now with a brush. It's just so gentle. It's like a little eyeball massage. You know, I don't feel like I'm like rubbing it in like crazy. It's just a very easy way to prime them. So I'll come back to my eyes after I do my cheeks. So for cheeks today, and most days, I reach for this MAC palette that I created, and I'll just tell you what's in here. This is MAC's Sculpt. I think it's a Pro Powder, Emphasize Powder or something. This is MAC's Blush and Taupe. This is MAC's Emphasize Powder, and that's like a white highlighting powder that Jaclyn Hill made famous. This is Blunt. I believe that's a shaping powder by MAC. And then Buff as a blush. And Sweet as Cocoa is actually a blush too, but it's pretty brown, so I keep it in here. So that's kind of what's in this palette. So what I do is I take, when I'm running super late and I just need something that's going to be quick, I grab this because I have my powder to set my under eyes, and I can use this on my brow bone. I have my contour and my bronzer shades, and I can also use these on my eyes. And this one here is like a blush. It's called Buff. It's kind of like a neutral, natural blush, similar to Tarte's Exposed. So I just use an angled brush that's kind of stiff to do some contouring first. I don't like the contour brushes that are super like flat and really hard, because they don't do any blending, and that would be fine, except like sometimes, you know, you need all the help you can get, and so if you're just laying down a bad thick line and then having to work it out, it takes a long time. I don't want to mess with that. So what I end up doing is I usually just like to use a little bit of a fluffier brush, and I just kind of pinch the end to just flatten it just a little bit, and I lay it down at the top of my ear and just do a line like towards my mouth. And that is pretty much all I will do for the sake of contouring. That was the color Taupe. That's the blush in Taupe. And then I'll use Blunt to kind of bronze. It's very dark and very pigmented, but I'm just kind of going over the same spot to really get that defined but not look crazy pigmented. And then I take whatever is left on the brush, I'll add a little bit more, and just do the top of the forehead and the sides of the forehead. I don't have a very big forehead, so I don't have to contour my forehead all the time. But yeah, I just take the same brush and do it right underneath my lower lip, and I just take whatever's left and run it on the jawline. That's why I love this, is because when I'm running super late, I can totally cheat and do my eyes with this, my blush, my contour, my bronzer, and these browns are perfect for an eye look, so I mean, I could really get away with that, but now I'm just kind of blending. So if I want to do an additional like bronzing besides what I just did, which is pretty natural, I will use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Radiant Bronze Light, just like on the perimeter of my face. Take this as on a fluffy brush and just kind of outer bronze my face. But these are the things that I reach for like all the time. Like I just grab it, throw it on the outer part of my face, and I'm all good to go. So then for blushes, I've been reaching for this Too Faced Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush in Candy Glow. And it's the one with the 3 strips of different colors. And I just take my brush and swirl it in all 3 colors. And I throw that nice rosy color on the cheeks. When I first got this blush, I didn't like it. I did not like it. I actually didn't wear it for like a month after I bought it. I wore it once and then I was like, meh. But I really like it now because it's very like easy, kind of natural. This is contour, what you're seeing, the bronzer, but it's right here. It's just very like glowy and not in your face. Very easy to blend out. So this is like my #1 blush right now. I showed these other blushes in my favorite blushes for summer thing, but I love the Balm's Hot Mama. And that's just like a really shimmery peachy color. I love MAC's Warm Soul a lot. I reach for that quite a bit. And then the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. So those are 4 of the blushes that I reach for all the time. So a highlighter I've been reaching for is actually this Wet n Wild Fergie one. This is the Center Stage collection in Hollywood Boulevard. There are 2 just like this. This one is the one that's golden, like golden cheetah print or something, marbly looking. But the other one is the pinker one. This is Rosé Champagne Glow. So this is the gold one, this is the pink one. I love the gold one on my skin. It is so pretty. Now, I'm telling you, I love this one, and I have Hourglass products. I like this highlighter. I do not like the L'Oreal Lumi highlighters that just came out, but I do really like this one, which was like $4. Normally, I have like a small brush like this to set my under eye concealer already out. I set my under eye concealer with powder with this kind of brush. And so rather than reaching for a fan brush or a special kind of brush, I end up using that brush a lot for this highlighter. And I just throw that right at the top of the cheekbones. Can you see how beautiful that is? And then I just take whatever's left on the brush and I just go above the brow bone. I just think this is like the most gorgeous, affordable highlighter. That's it for the face. So I use one of these 2 brow products every single day pretty much. The NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Brunette or the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Taupe. And this is the result with the Tinted Brow Mascara. It's just basic, natural, there's nothing harsh or anything about it. And that's why I like it. It's one product. The brow mascara sets them in place and it colors the skin underneath your brows. Just if you have any bald spots, you can kind of target it with the wand at wherever, and you just kind of like color your skin right where you're missing some brow hair. So that's what I use every day. As far as an eye look, I tend to reach for my Makeup Geek eyeshadow palette because it has so many everyday go-to shades in it. Like this is mostly neutrals and then just a few pops of color down here at the bottom. And so I'm really able to create a variety of neutral, natural, everyday looks using just this one palette. So when I'm like, I don't want to think too hard, just pull out this palette and I do my look that I know works. So I'll take like a fluffy brush like this Sigma E40 taper blending brush, and I'll go in with Peach Smoothie, which is that standard like transition shade, and I put that in the crease and slightly above the crease and kind of take it up high underneath the brow. And then I go in right beneath that with Creme Brulee, which is like a just slightly darker. So it goes like Creme Brulee, Peach Smoothie, and then the brow bone shade. So Creme Brulee is just a little bit darker, so I don't take it up as high. I don't want brown right on my brow bone or anything, but it kind of helps soften and transition everything. And then I'll take a really light color, like whether it's Shimma Shimma, very light, or a slight golden color, or something a little bit more like shimmery. Just one of these really light shades, and I'll tap that on the lid. Take your pick. It just depends on that day. But I do really like this one called Glamorous, and it's just like a golden shade that's like very natural. And I also like Cinderella. So you'll see Glamorous and Cinderella They're kind of similar, but the Glamorous is gold and this one's more pinky. They remind me a lot of my highlighter. That I'll just use like a standard eyeshadow like brush, and I'm using Glamorous, the gold color, and just brushing that on the lid. Super simple. And then I'll take a pencil brush with a white of some sort in this palette, and I usually use Ice Queen, and that's just a white color, and I use that underneath the brow bone and on the inner corner of the eye. And then last for the eyes, I usually take a darker shade in the crease or outer V, and I use that same brush. So I just finished doing my brow bone and everything with the pointed, like tapered brush. Then I go in with something, seriously? So I just went like this, right, to like show you guys the palette. I was picking it up, and it fell against my arm. Look at my arm. I've got like natural eyeshadow swatches. I'll have to wash that off. Hope it doesn't bother you. So I use that same brush because it's just really small for the crease. And I'll use something like Cocoa Bear, which is like a deep brown, warm brown, or maybe like Mocha, just a brown of some sort. And I'll just tap that here in the outer part of the eye and in the crease. And I just take the original brush that I used with the Creme Brulee and Peach Smoothie, and I just blend it out. And that's a 3-brush eyeshadow look. So I have my blending brush, I use this brush for the lid, and then I use the pointed brush for the brow bone and then the crease, and then I take that same brush, sometimes with some additional product, and I run that on the lower lash line for the brown, like a lower lash line liner. And then I'll take a brown pencil liner. I usually use pencil liner when I'm in a hurry or just like don't want to think about it. So I just put it on, it doesn't take any precision, and then I just rub it out with my finger, curl my lashes, apply some mascara, and then we'll do lips. So I just took a brown liner and literally just did a thin line on the upper lash line and smudged it. Threw on my mascara, and then I'll use a mauve pinky shade on my lips. This one is new to me. This is the Milani lipstick. This is Pretty Natural is the name of the shade. And it's just a neutral pink for everyday. So those are my favorite products for everyday that I wear pretty regularly. Let me know below what some of your favorites are and what your must-haves are, and some of your favorite tricks to get out the door quickly in the morning. And don't forget to enter my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, which is open until August 29th. I will link that below. Thanks for watching. Bye.